The Harmonic Correspondence Protocol, an original method for advanced astrological analysis. Most contemporary astrology still operates on a medieval technical substrate, fixed orbs, discrete aspects, and a largely static natal chart interpreted against a moving sky. The result is a language that is rich in symbolism yet coarse in measurement. The Harmonic Correspondence Protocol, or HCP, is an original reconstruction that treats the relationship between natal and current planetary positions as a continuous field of resonance rather than a set of binary hits. The method rests on three foundational premises that distinguish it from both traditional and modern psychological approaches. First, planetary influence is not primarily a function of ecliptic longitude alone. Magnitude of effect scales with three concurrent variables: angular proximity in longitude, differential in mean motion, and ecliptic latitude. A planet stationing at high latitude near a natal sensitive point carries substantially more weight than a fast-moving body at zero latitude, forming a geometrically perfect opposition. Second, the most potent connections are harmonic rather than merely angular. Classical aspects, the conjunction, opposition, trine, square, and sextile, are special cases of integer frequency ratios. The protocol systematically searches for 2 to the admitting results: 3 to 2, 5 to 3, 5 to 4, 4 to 3, and higher order ratios between natal sidereal periods and current synodic or anomalistic cycles. A 120-degree separation is therefore examined not only as a trine, but as a possible 3 to 1 or 3 to 2 phase relationship, depending on the periods involved. Third, the natal chart is not a photograph taken once. It is a reference frame. Predictive and diagnostic power emerges from the differential between that fixed reference and a series of dynamic epoch charts constructed at planetary stations, true lunar nodes, and perihelion passages. Here is the complete operational sequence. Step 1. Establish the natal vector set. Using a high-precision ephemeris, compute geocentric longitudes, latitudes, and daily motions for the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, the true lunar nodes, and the lunar apogee. Convert each daily motion into a signed velocity vector. Any planet whose absolute ecliptic latitude exceeds 1.5 degrees is flagged as elevated and later receives a latitude coefficient of 1.3. Out-of-bounds bodies receive an additional multiplier of 1.15. These coefficients are not arbitrary. They reflect the observational fact that high-latitude phenomena were already treated as intensified omens in the Mesopotamian tradition. Step 2. Construct the current resonance matrix. For the precise moment under analysis, compute the identical data set for the sky. Form every pairwise angular separation between the natal vector set and the current positions. For each pair, calculate the absolute difference in daily motion. This differential becomes a velocity weight. The closer the two bodies are to matching speed, especially when both are slow or one is stationary, the higher the weight. A stationing planet against a natal point yields the maximum velocity score of 1.0. Step 3. Scan for harmonic ratios. Convert the observed angular separations into candidate harmonic series. The protocol tests each separation against a table of exact harmonic angles derived from integer ratios of mean motions. Tolerance is set at 0.05 degrees per day of angular rate of change for a lock. When a pair meets both angular proximity and rate of change criteria simultaneously, it is flagged as a resonance lock of the corresponding order. Step 4. Identify active axes. An active axis is defined as any natal planet or sensitive point that simultaneously satisfies three conditions: angular proximity under 3 degrees to a current body or its station degree, a confirmed harmonic ratio within tolerance, and a velocity weight above the median of the current session. The strongest axes are those involving a stationing planet, the true lunar nodes, or an elevated body. Axes involving the Moon are further weighted by proximity to the lunar nodes or apogee. Step 5. Generate the gradient map. Rather than producing a list of discrete aspects with cookbook interpretations, the protocol outputs a ranked gradient map. Each active axis receives a composite score equal to angular tightness multiplied by harmonic purity multiplied by velocity weight multiplied by the latitude coefficient. The top 5 to 7 axes constitute the operative field for that epoch. Interpretation proceeds strictly from the planetary natures involved and the harmonic order of the lock, not from traditional aspect keywords. A concrete illustration will clarify the difference in practice. Consider a natal Mercury at 14 degrees 12 minutes of Virgo, ecliptic latitude plus 2.1 degrees, daily motion plus 1.38 degrees. At a later epoch, Mars reaches its retrograde station at 13 degrees 48 minutes of Virgo, with latitude plus 1.8 degrees. The angular separation is only 0.4 degrees. Because Mars is stationary, the velocity differential approaches zero. Both bodies are elevated. The composite score is therefore extreme. Under conventional astrology, this is simply a conjunction. Under the harmonic correspondence protocol, it is a high-order resonance lock on the Mercury principle, amplified by the Marshall station and dual high latitude. Decisions involving contracts, negotiation, short-term strategy, or information flow taken inside that window are treated as carrying amplified consequence. The analyst does not ask, what does a Mars-Mercury conjunction mean? The analyst asks, what is the quality of the Mercury vector when locked in a stationary Marshall resonance? The method is deliberately austere. It does not employ whole sign or quadrant houses as primary data, nor does it rely on traditional sign rulerships or essential dignities as first-order inputs. Those techniques may be consulted after the gradient map is established, but they remain secondary. The core claim of the protocol is that the most reliable signal resides in the continuous, multi-parameter resonance field between natal vectors and current dynamical states of the solar system. Two further refinements complete the system. First, the protocol tracks not only instantaneous locks, but also the approach and separation phases of each active axis. A lock that is tightening over 3 days is weighted more heavily than one that is already separating. Second, the true lunar nodes are treated as permanent sensitive points of the natal vector set. Any current planet stationing near a natal node automatically generates a high-priority axis regardless of harmonic order. Limitations are stated without apology. No controlled statistical validation of the harmonic correspondence protocol currently exists. It is offered as a coherent technical hypothesis derived from the observational logic of the Babylonian omen tradition, the geometric rigor of Hellenistic planetary theory, and the precision of modern numerical ephemerides. The protocol does not claim a physical causal mechanism linking planetary positions to human events. It claims improved pattern detection within the ancient correspondence paradigm. In practical application, the analyst requires an ephemeris accurate to at least 3 decimal places in both longitude and latitude, together with reliable station times and true node positions. Continuous monitoring of multiple epochs is best performed by software. Hand calculation remains feasible for single high-stakes moments. A final operational note concerns timing windows. Once an active axis is identified, the protocol does not treat the exact moment of lock as a single point. Instead, it defines a resonance window whose duration is proportional to the velocity weight. A stationing planet can generate a window of several days on either side of the exact station. A fast-moving body generates a window measured in hours. The analyst therefore works with temporal gradients rather than instantaneous hits. This single change eliminates much of the noise that plagues conventional transit interpretation. Taken together, the 5 steps, the 2 refinements, and the temporal gradient approach constitute a complete, original technical protocol. It can be applied to natal interpretation, to electional work, and to the analysis of collective moments. Its value lies not in novelty for its own sake, but in the recovery of measurement precision that the earliest celestial observers already demanded and that modern computation now makes practical. The harmonic correspondence protocol is therefore not a system of belief, it is a protocol of disciplined attention. a method for reading the differential between a fixed human reference frame and the moving harmonic structure of the solar system. Whether that differential carries reliable meaning is a question only repeated, careful observation can answer.